You're here because you need a domain name, and if you need a domain name, that means you're gonna have to use a domain name registrar. And they're not all the same. They're not all created equal. You can't just pick one at random and get exactly the same experience from one to another. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make it nice and simple. We're going to give you a list of our favorite domain name registrars. If you're unsure what a domain registrar is, quite simply, it's a company that's going to allow you to buy and register domain names. It's fairly straightforward, but they're actually more important than you think. Because imagine if you didn't have domain names, you didn't have registrars to get those domain names, you'd be looking at trying to remember really complicated strings of numbers in order to be able to access websites. It's not exactly user-friendly. Why can't you just go and get the domain name yourself? Why do you have to use a registrar? Well, registrars are actually accredited by the Internet Corporation for assigned names and numbers. And basically that means that these registrars are going to make it easy for you to control your domain with some user-friendly tools. And basically they're granted permission by ICANN to become domain registrars, grants them permission to manage and update domain names within a registry. Basically, it takes a whole heap of the problems, of the issues out of your hands and makes it really, really easy for not a lot of money. What do we mean by best registrar? Well, we've come up with some criteria that are going to allow us to hone in on details, on things that we really want, and allow us to pick the very best ones for you to use. The first one, of course, is pricing. We want prices to be affordable, but we want them to be affordable potentially long term, because you might get a really good introductory offer, but renewal rates might be very, very high. We also want nice and easy domain transfers. You might not need to transfer your domain immediately, but it's essential to ensure that the process is hassle-free should the time come. One of the worst things that can happen is if you lose your domain. Imagine all of your customers not being able to use the domain name they've come accustomed to typing in because your domain registrar hasn't offered you some kind of grace period when it comes to renewals. So what we're looking for is a really great domain expiration policy. And we also want to explore the additional services that the registrar offers. Are they going to offer things like domain privacy, maybe domain parking? And some registrars are even going to offer web hosting, which can be really, really beneficial. Things that we want to avoid are add-on pricing. So when you sign up with some registrars, there's pre-ticked features that are going to be automatically charged if you don't untick them. So we want to be aware of those. We want to make sure that the registrar's website is user-friendly and it has positive reviews. We don't want bad experiences from other people. It's probably not going to be a very good indicator of what kind of service we're going to receive. And finally, we want to avoid any other hidden costs or fees, especially during those aforementioned domain transfers. So we know the ins and outs, what we're looking for and what we don't want. What are the best domain registrars for you to use? Our first pick is domain.com. They were founded in 2000 and they're a really huge player in the domain registrar world. What's going to set them apart is a really impressive range of domain extensions, whether you want a classic.com or something a bit more niche, although we do recommend the .com for most people. It just carries the most weight. It has the most credibility that you're going to want for your website. They've also got a really intuitive domain search tool, which is really going to help you find the perfect web address. And you get an essential array of domain management tools like private registration, privacy protection, bulk registration, easy DNS management, and even more. They do have an option to grab web hosting from them as well, which is really great to kind of bundle everything together. And in terms of pricing, the very best price you're going to be able to get for domain.com or any of the domain registrars that we're going to talk about today is by going down into the description, clicking on the WP Beginner link, and that'll take you through to get the best price discounts. We mentioned domain.com being able to offer web hosting, but if you're looking for somewhere that is going to be truly able to bundle your web hosting and your domain name together, then we strongly recommend checking out Bluehost, because they're going to give you that domain name for free. So Bluehost are an official WordPress recommended hosting provider, and you're going to need hosting to start your WordPress website. You just have to have it. Now, Bluehost are going to be able to offer you that for a crazy cheap deal, again with those discount codes, for under $35. You're going to pay under $35 for an entire year's worth of hosting, which you need. And on top of that, they're going to give you a free SSL certificate and your free domain name. So your search for a domain registrar, maybe pulling things from different places, it's not necessary. Bluehost will do everything for you for a really great price. Hostinger is next, and while they haven't been around as long as Bluehost, they do offer some very similar services. Both of them are really easy to use, and Hostinger again is going to be able to offer you web hosting at a really fantastic price and also provide you with a free domain name. In terms of extras, they're also going to offer a free SSL certificate and a free business email address. So again, it's another all-in-one package. So once we start thinking outside of the box of maybe just going and grabbing a domain name, we can finally start bundling things together and making things cheaper and so much easier. Now, we can't really talk about domain registrars without talking about network solutions. They have a mad 7 million domains registered with them, and they're absolutely one of the best in the game, and you wouldn't be surprised because they've been doing this since the mid-90s. These are like the OGs when it comes to being domain registrars. While domain registration is their main thing, they do also offer web hosting, a website builder, website security tools, and business email tools. If you just have a look, you can kind of treat Network Solutions a little bit like a one-stop shop for all of your initial needs to get you going. And last but not least, we've got an absolute giant of the industry. It's GoDaddy. They manage over 84 million domains, and you're looking at 20 million customers worldwide with a huge variety of domain name extensions. Like we say, we kind of recommend the .com, but if you want something else, GoDaddy have probably got it. GoDaddy have some great pricing on first-year domain name registration, and they also have their Domain Club membership, which offers discounted pricing if you're a professional that's managing a whole variety of domains. Their whole domain management interface is pretty user-friendly. It's great for making changes, transferring domains, updating contact information. Essentially, it'll do everything for you, or you can do everything really simply. Hopefully that's given you a better idea of why picking a good domain registrar is so important, and also 5 of the very best domain registrars, in our opinion, that you should go out and try. If you want some more detailed information on domain registration, then you can click our video just here or check out some of our written articles. If you have any questions, do drop them down in the comments. We will answer them all. And of course, do get subscribed to WP Beginner and hit that little like button there, because I'll appreciate it. Well, that's all from me here today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been James, and I'll see you soon.